Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of It's Never Sunny in Duskvol, Blaze in the Dark campaign. Blaze in the Dark is a game designed by my friend in real life and co-assassinator partner, John Harper. So, welcome. I think this is about like episode 6 or so. So Paul hasn't couldn't make it right now, and we had to start a little bit early anyway. So this is going to be a little bit of a short stream. So sorry about that. But anyways, we're going to be doing a lot of like downtime and catching up from what we did last session, which was pretty awesome. So I really hope either Kelsa or Asteyni here would love to do the prologue for that. But before we jump into play and that kind of stuff, let's go around the table, say who we all are and all that kind of stuff. So I'll start. I'm Eric. I'm the GM of Blades. Blades is cool stuff with the GM where not only do I get to be everything else, I also don't have to really make that many rolls unless it's like I don't feel like deciding right now. I'm gonna roll a d6 and decide what happens. It's pretty cool. I like games that do that. It also does a lot of stuff where players can do a lot more input kind of stuff. So my job's super fucking easy. I don't really prepare much. I just bring up roll 20, see what I wrote down, whatever random musings, and try to go like, what did I mean when I wrote that down? And that's it. It's really easy, really simple. So let me throw it over to Kelsa here.
Hello. I'm Kelsa. I play role-playing games on the internet, here and other places. I also run a Blades in the Dark game, and I can concur, being a GM for Blades in the Dark, super easy. You just hand the reins over to your players, and then they hang themselves with it. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah. Right. I coined the term last session, but yeah, you're like a payday loan shark, right? You're like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, they want to help you. Yeah, and you're just like writing down notes, being like, okay, here's a clock. You get screwed over by that choice. Out of 4, you know, and then you just let it
Exactly.
go, and just gonna let all this stuff happen out here. So yeah. So that's what's going on. Cool. Yeah, awesome. I love it. Yeah, it definitely showed. I think last session, Kelsa, when in the very last couple scenes of last session, when you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna step in and take the blow" and that kind of stuff. Yeah, like knowledge of blades. Really, really good job. I just wanted to highlight that for a moment. Um, yeah, cool.
Thank you. That
Yep.
was a lot of fun, and I like having the chance to be on this side of the table. So
Yeah, doing both is really good, right? It's a lot of fun.
definitely.
Yeah, cool. And Asteyni.
Hi, I'm Asteyni. When I'm not playing Blades in the Dark here, I am playing board games on my own channel on Sundays. Except I'm not playing tomorrow because it's the last day of my vacation, so I'm taking it off. But follow me and come hang out, and we're going to play board games at times, and it'll be fun.
Yay, fun games. How was your Arkham Horror game, by the way?
It went really, really long, and by the end of the 5th hour, we're just like, you know what? The old one, you win. We're going to go to bed.
Yeah,
Fifth hour. I'm so sorry.
it's a long game, right?
I mean, it
yeah.
can be, but oh my gosh.
It was just like by the end of the 4th hour, we thought we had it in the bag. We're like, okay, we got this. We know what we need to do. We just need one more token, and then just to close all the gates, and we're good. And then our rolls were just so awful, and it was just like, it's just at that point, it's like, you know what you need to do, but the
Aw.
game is fighting against you so hard, it stopped being fun, and it just started
Yeah.
being frustrating. And at that point, I was
Laborious.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like when you're feeling like you can do something, it's good. When you're feeling like you're just like, okay, we're just going through the motions now, and so that was Arkham Horror. It was fun. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I forgot to ask you guys. Do a quick little recap about who we're playing though, and what we're kind of doing here. If somebody wants to do that, right?
That's a different
Yeah.
story entirely.
Yeah. So Kelsa, who's your character?
I play Jewel. Mechanically, she's using the playbook Hound, and she has a elite hunting pet, which is a pet monkey named Mr. Bubbles. She has dark skin and short hair, and she comes from the Dagger Isles, and she has gemstones embedded in her face, which actually make up a fine spirit ward.
Yeah, Spirit Bane Charm, I think is what it's called.
Spirit Bane Charm. Thank you. That's the technical term. That she always has on her and she cannot be without. As part of how people from the Dagger Isles deal with not having a lightning fence. For those unfamiliar with the setting, ghosts are a real thing that happen because somebody broke death. And when someone dies, your spirit is still bound to this world, even though it's no longer encased.
Fun fact, I actually met the guy who did that. He was a friend of John's. So John was playing a game of World of Dungeons, and Duskvol is the culmination of the game of World of Dungeons. Duskvol would not be Duskvol if it weren't for this guy who rolled a 6 damage instead of 7 damage against a sorcerer. So I met the guy who did that the other day. It was really funny. I didn't know it at the time, but John just remarked it. I'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, that guy's kind of responsible for blades. And I was like, how do you mean? And that's really funny. So anyways, yeah, cool.
I'm so jealous of you, Eliza and Eric, where you just like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with Jaron Harper, and then he told me all of his dank secrets.
The dankest secrets. Yeah, so Asteyni, who are you playing for us today?
So I play Vale. Mechanically, she is using the playbook, the slide. So basically, I'm the one keeping this group together.
You're the Michael Bluth of the group, yeah, for sure.
I am talking our way into really good deals and out of trouble. And when Seer and Jewel get in over their head, I just kind of nope out of the situation, like, okay, well, you got this, right?
Yeah.
That has actually saved our butt, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So I am an Akarosi noble who has been ruined. I came to Duskvol not to start a new life, but to get power so I could take back my old life. So that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, cool. So who wants to do a previously on It's Never Sunny in Duskvol?
I want all my stress, so Kelsa.
I need a refresher, so Asteyni.
I really don't want to clear 1 stress, though, because I have 6 stress, and we're in downtime.
Oh. I have 5, so I'm screwed either way. Give me, 2 sentences about what happened so I can remember
Lysander.
Last session.
Lysander, boat party, seagulls.
Oh, right. Yes, seagulls. That was it. Those were not seagulls. Thank you.
No, they were not seagulls.
Exact keywords I needed. Mr. Lysander is not a nice guy. And he won't say stole, but headhunted Vale's prostitutes that work for us here at the Painted Lady. And Vale was kind of upset about that. And so we orchestrated a plot to get back at him. Since she has many connections within the noble population down in the capital city, she made a deal with him because what he really wanted was to ingratiate himself to noble society. So she said, hey, I know someone that would be willing to marry you and get you that leg up you wanted. And he's like, what's the catch? And she's like, well, you caught me. It's because I want my girls back. And he's like, well, sounds fishy, but I trust you. And we all got on a boat heading down to Capital City. That's not what it's called. But I'm too lazy to pull up my map. Empire City? Is that actually what it's called?
The Imperial City.
The Imperial City. We wound up on a Leviathan hunter ship that is the fastest out there. And as a former pirate / bounty hunter, Jewel was very impressed. And there was a sort of a ball that was like a celebration one evening on the boat. And at which point crazy demonic seagulls attacked that kind of looked like hyper-realistic gullbats. And we were like noping out of there, and so did Lysander. We followed him down to his room, where Seer was about to open the door and get a bullet to the face, and Jewel steps in the way and takes that bullet for him, which is what Eric had been alluding to earlier. at which point we managed to kill him and make it look like he had been killed by one of the demon creatures.
Yeah.
As part of the same thing. So we were like, oh no, our plan to get our good friend Lysander hooked up with our noblewoman friend has totally been ruined. And everyone believed us.
Yes. Awesome. Yep.
We may have also made some devil's bargains that is going to ensure that his ghost comes back to haunt us. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Well, damn. Perfect. Okay. So we finished that. We finished the heist there, and whenever we finish a heist, we did experience last session, but what we didn't do was sort of like the other mechanics that come out when you do crew stuff, right? When you're finished your heist here, you have to do like payoffs, entanglements, and heat and that kind of stuff, right? So fortunately, you guys, Lysander was the same tier as you guys, so you earned 1 rep, right? Go ahead and mark that on your crew sheet.
I got it marked.
Awesome. You didn't seize a claim yet. You didn't earn any coin yet, but if you recall from last session, you earned some very high quality, one-of-a-kind poetry by Lysander.
Yes.
You have that on him, right? The second thing was heat. You didn't. So you still always earn heat. I think this is basically just a 1 heat mission. Very easy. You guys really did really well here.
If we manage to do it so well, we earn no heat, and this has been updated in the newest rule set. We actually earn no reputation as well. So,
okay, then
if it's I mean, we might still get rep for trying to manipulate this situation, even though it turned out poorly. But not rep for having killed Lysander. It'd be a different type of rep, basically.
I think no, I think you earned. I think you still earned rep, and I think you earned rep with the Wave Knight, maybe, right? You took out a Golbat. You showed them the guns and stuff. You tried to save them, so I think you still earned some rep here. Consequentially, I think you earned 1 heat.
That's totally fair.
You can make a case that you earn 0 and 0, but I think earning 1 and 1 would be more fun.
No, I would prefer 1 and 1. I was just explaining mechanically that if we had
that's a really good point.
That we would earn 0 rep, which is important from one of the other Blades games that I'm running, where they were running very, very quiet. But there's also a new advance that you can get for your crew, and that normally assassins get, which is that you still earn rep even if it goes 100% quiet and you earn 0 heat.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and so I'm giving that to my smugglers crew because they've built themselves on being such quiet smugglers that nobody even knows that they're smuggling. And that, like, the reputation is literally, they smuggle stuff, but I don't know what or to who ever, anywhere. Ooh. But no one says bad things about them.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna look at your heat right now. Your heat's 3. Right now. So let's go ahead and you don't have any wanted levels, right? No. You cleared your wanted level. So I get to roll a single d6 here. No, sorry, your heat is actually right now 4.
Why is it 4?
Because it was already 3 and you just earned 1.
No, it was 2 and I put it up to 3.
Oh, you already did the math. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. No, that's really important because there's a level of entanglements that occurs at level 4 that's different than level 3. So thank you for clarifying that. So, cool. Let's do it right now. Awesome. Cool. I just rolled a 6.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, this is perfect. Okay, I know what this looks like. I won't tell you what it means. Don't worry about it. Let's do some. So
I'm looking at the thing. I know what it means.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, I'll give it to TV Land, right? Cooperation I rolled cooperation for the entanglement here, and a +3 satisfaction asks you for a favor. Agree to do it or forfeit 1 rep per tier of the friendly faction. If you don't have +3 faction status, you avoid the entanglement right now. So, that's fine. Fortunately for us, there is one that has that. So, yeah. So we're going to see what that means in a little bit, because right now our crew isn't back in Duskvol yet. Our crew was on their way to the Imperial City for this heist. That was part of the deal, and we're going to kind of do some downtime actions now that sort of encompass and entail what's going to go on. It kind of sucks that Paul's not here, but Paul would only be getting 1 downtime action anyways, and just another reminder here, when you do a downtime action, you have 2, but you can spend coin for an additional 1. So, I think that's about it. Oh, no, there's one more thing I wanted to add. Or one more thing I wanted to throw out to you guys as a possible crew hack that we can play with. Because we run a store, right? We run a tea house. I have an idea for an all new type of move that we can take. And I want to hear your thoughts on it, okay? This is going to be an added special ability for our crew sheet, because I know we're like hawkers, right? But part of being a hawker, we kind of like run a store so much, like, you know, that's a little bit different than what I think the hawkers was originally intended to do. Here's what it's going to be. This is what I'm going to make a variant of. It's called home cooking. Your whole crew gains home cooking as a vice. Right after a score, you can spend 1 coin and a downtime to kind of cook for everyone, allowing the whole crew present to make a vice roll. If anyone overindulges, though, a fight erupts, and everyone gains 1 stress. So basically, this represents you guys running the store, and it's kind of like you guys hanging out at the store. Right?
Oh, interesting. So basically, 1 person spends a coin, and the crew spends a coin, 1 person spends a downtime, and it gives everybody their vice for that downtime instead of each person having to spend it.
Yeah, and the action would be kind of like, staying, basically just using your own place for like tea, maybe company. I don't, if that's possible. Does that sound interesting to include on the sheet for now? Or would you rather
I'm interested in it.
I'm happy to test it out, yeah.
I mean, we don't have to add that yet or anything. I'm just saying that might be a potential inclusion to the game.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
And I'm taking it from Strass's amazing hack for blades called Scum and Villainy. And so, but I thought it felt like it had a really good kind of like home family kind of feel that we kind of are going for. So I was thinking about adopting it because it seems relevant. But cool. Once again, I kind of just surprised that on the group here, everybody. I didn't have that really prepared, but I thought I'd reach out for it. Cool. So, yeah, let's do some downtime, guys. We can either do scenes. We can kind of jump around time, like we're either in the Imperial City, we're taking the electric rail back, the ghost line back to Doskvol. Something can happen there, or we're back in Duskvol. Whatever works.
If I'm going to engage in my vice, do I need to be back in Duskvol because that's where my milliner is?
No. You can totally get a new mask from the Imperial City, or someone on the train, right?
That's who you normally go to, but you can definitely go to somebody else.
Okay.
If you're not.
And I won't make you have to roll for finding a milliner in the Imperial City. You're from there, right?
Then I would like to spend my first downtime action to engage in my vice.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. I'm not going to worry about it too much unless you overindulge and we see what happens. Which I don't think you possibly can.
Because I don't think I have enough stress to...
Yeah, perfect, cool. But, can you remind us here? Ooh, that's rough.
I know.
Can you just tell us here what your vice was and what this maybe looks like now that you rolled a 1? I'm gonna give this to you.
So my vice is luxury. Specifically, it is elaborate masks that I like to wear, in part to kind of conceal my identity. It's just so I'm not flaunting my noble face around all these drug deals and whatever. And I think what it looks like that I rolled a 1 is that because my reputation in the Imperial City isn't super awesome, it takes me a while to find someone who will actually serve me without turning their nose up at me. Because I had, like, this is where I'm from and this is where I was ruined. So it wasn't the relaxing experience I was expecting.
Yeah, like you showed your face around town in a place you haven't really been in a long time. People whispering kind of stuff. Yeah. Cool. I like that. Like, oh, I thought she left town. What is she doing here? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. Cool. Random question. Is the milliner that you have in the Imperial City, are they anyway related to the milliner in Doskvol, or just completely separate?
I don't imagine that they're related. As far as I'm aware, they're not related.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Is there anything unique about this milliner that you see?
They're probably not as high quality as what I'm used to. So, I mean, again, because it wasn't like a really great experience for me, so they probably don't deal in very fine quality items. And honestly, I probably don't even buy anything. I just browse and I'm not impressed. But just the act of looking at these items and whatever, it kind of de-stressed me a little bit, but I didn't get to make that nice purchase.
I love that.
That bang where you're like, that's the one.
I love that you were disappointed and you didn't end up buying anything. No, that's really good. I like that a lot. Yeah, that makes yeah, I can totally see that scene of you a Vale, looking through like the glass cases of these masks and just kind of not feeling it. Cool. Awesome. So that's one downtime done. What do we see about Jewel?
Oh, Jewel also needs to indulge her vice. She has 2 what's the word? Traumas. And if she doesn't indulge her vice, she's going to take stress. So she's going to have to look around because she does not know the Imperial City very well. And she needs to find somewhere she can get Dagger Isle's home cooking. And if I need to make a roll to find someone to do that, I'm more than happy to do that.
No, I don't think you do. Because you're visiting a purveyor of your vice. What I'm going to do though is make a fortune roll.
Okay.
This is you're finding it and you're clearing your vice.
Mm-hmm.
This is just good or bad things that could possibly be ramifications of doing this, right?
Okay.
Like no, you're not. You don't have to roll to see if you do this. It's just you're doing it. It's just there might be some strings attached, right? And that's what this fortune roll represents here. So
well, first. I'm gonna know what happens.
You're looking for an upscale restaurant, right?
Yes, an upscale restaurant that serves classic Dagger Islands dishes such as lizard on a stick.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. So you got a 6.
Yeah, nice. That's good for me.
Yeah, that's
right?
really good for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me about this place. It's very comforting to you. Why? Not just like the food, but like this feels like a safe place in the Imperial City for you.
Maybe it's like there's like a Dagger Isles like district.
In the Imperial City, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe they are. Maybe like she has some cousins or something that actually live in the area. That she hasn't seen for years, but like just knowing that they're nearby, even if she doesn't actually see them, like is comforting too. And so like she goes in there and like you get that smell of spices, that exact mix that you used to smell in your mom's kitchen, you know, that kind of
yeah, no, the family style, like home cooked meal kind of, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, no, it feels like home.
And so yeah, like I feel like there's like paintings on the wall and like maybe carved bas relief of like trees and stuff. And so even going into the restaurant makes it feel more like being in the Dagger Isle.
Immersive, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question: do the Dagger Isles? Is there a Dagger Isle language? Are you like in the little Dagger Isles section of the Imperial
Yeah,
City,
totally.
right? So
Do they
yeah.
speak a different language? Yeah, sure. Let's
Or
say
maybe like an accent or
yeah,
something
at
like
least
that.
a thick accent that sounds totally normal.
Yeah, it's a Creole type of common, right? It's
Exactly.
it's a just a flavor,
Hmm.
mixture of stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Go ahead and indulge your vice.
Three. Three's not bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Um,
It's probably not as good. It's just not as good as maybe this one. This stick is just not as good as what you're used to, right?
like I feel like that the atmosphere is like really brought me in, and then like I actually eat their food, and it's like
Disappointing.
yeah, like I really wanted it to be that much better, but it's just like it's mediocre instead of amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
But on a certain level, that's also kind of comforting because, like, your mom's cooking is usually not nearly as impressive as a restaurant. So, on a certain level, that was kind of comforting too. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Great.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good scene. Cool. Asteyni, you're muted.
Thank you. I want to start a project, actually.
Cool. Sure. What's your intention?
Um, to legally acquire Lysander's property through forged documents and lawyers.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. You reminded me that I forgot to do. I forgot to update the map on this one page here to the new version 7 map. But anyways,
You
okay.
promised you were going to do that, Eric. You're breaking
I'm the
my heart.
worst. I have it. I have it on the other page, but I didn't bring it over to this main page here. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
just teasing.
Okay. So Vale, you want to start a long-term project here.
Yes.
And your intentions were to
Basically, to make
incorporate.
documents and legally acquire Lysander's stuff now that he is no longer in need of it. The idea is basically to create the contract that he kind of said that he was going to make, where he was going to leave me his stuff once he no longer needed it, being the idea that he was going to get married and I was going to take over. But I mean, he's dead, so he no longer needs it now, too. And then kind of use that loophole to argue that I should get it.
Yeah. No. I dig that. Yeah. No. I mean, that's definitely how you're gonna be working on a. Okay. So I have to ask you a couple questions about this project and how you
Okay.
see it working out.
Okay.
Because how you're going to approach it is going to help me determine what you need to do it, obviously.
Okay.
So what does this project look like? Are you going to be going then? Are you going to be spending a lot of time in sort of like Charter Hall, proving that you get this stuff? Are you going to be kind of like swindling it out of people? Like how's Vale going to acquire this? How do you see it happening?
It needs to seem legit, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, everything that Vale does, it has to seem on the up and up. So it's going to be acquiring documents with his signature that will have been forged, that kind of bequeath his possessions to me in the event that he no longer wants or needs them. And then basically using lawyers and stuff to get like that made official and like getting all of the deeds to his places and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going. Okay, so then this seems like the first part of this project is acquiring forged paperwork.
Okay.
Right. You're gonna get it for like you need to get the forged paperwork, and then maybe included in that clock would be forged paperwork notarized by the government, right?
Okay.
I want to think of what other steps would be there. Actually, that might be like the whole thing, right? In order to have legal claim over it. So yeah, the first part. Then let's start here with getting the forged documents.
Okay. So what kind of clock is that?
We have a fourth. So this would be I have it right now out of 8, but I'm going to actually change this. It's actually going to be out of 2, and you're going to have a sub clock, which is acquire forged documents.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you can work on this project, but tell me how it's going to look, and I totally have to fix all of the cameras real quick. So while you're telling me that, I'm gonna get all the cameras squared away.
Okay. So I already have access to documents.
It's going to look. I totally have to.
Oh,
fix all
there's a Liefington.
Hey, while you're telling me that, I'm gonna get all the cameras. I hear myself in the game. Is that you, Paul? I can't hear you, Paul. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so while that's going on, I guess I'll say I already have access to documents just as a slide. So the idea then is to make sure that those documents are legit. So it's going to involve probably calling in some favors from some people that we know, making sure that I have access to his signature so I can copy it onto these documents, and getting a notary to notarize it because that will make it seem legit. So I probably
Don't mind me.
need to call in help from Roland Watt, a magistrate, or possibly Marlowe, and have him put me in touch with some people.
Oh, you're gonna try to the magistrate?
I think I have to because he's the only official person I know. Because I don't think a broker really counts, because that's like more of like someone who buys and... I mean, they might know somebody, but I don't know as if they would be able to do it.
No, you're gonna need a magistrate to do this for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to tap on Roland Watt, I think.
Yeah, it might, maybe, if you don't want to use him, then maybe we're going to tack on another project. Here would be like, gather a person who can help you with this, right?
Okay.
Or maybe that's the first part of acquiring forged documents, is getting a contact.
Okay. I think I'd rather do that because I don't think Roland's going to be super receptive right now. I feel like we need to do him a favor before he's willing to do us another favor.
Yeah, it's very reasonable. Okay. So that's how we're going to be working on this project here. So go ahead and follow the what the rules say here for the second part. I think when you roll, you are going to you roll a trait and mark one segment on the project clock per level. So what does this look like? And you know, where are you going to find this person? Because you find them, right? And based on what your roll is going to help determine what that's kind of going to be like.
So I think the idea is that I end up going to Charter Hall, and I find either like a notary or a magistrate or someone who's up there, and I just start talking them up. I start being my charismatic self, and kind of craft this sob story about how, you know, I've had a really hard time with stuff, and I had this deal with Lysander, and then we were going to go get it taken care of in the Imperial City, and I think because I want to have the documents first, like, But I want to have it like not be signed or whatever, and I just want to kind of give him the impression, or her, I don't know who it is. I want to give them the impression that this is totally legal, but we just didn't get to it, and then he died, and I really need someone to help me out because I put all this money in it, and now he's dead. And
Like,
I mean,
like a sunk cost kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So just like kind of trying to win them over with this sob story and my natural charm.
Oh yeah. That's okay. You got it. Go ahead and make that roll and see how much of this clock you're able to knock
Okay,
off
so
today.
I'm gonna roll sway. Do I just do it as like a fortune roll, or do I have like a position or whatever?
Oh, no, you just roll it like a fortune roll. You're basically
Okay.
just rolling your attribute here, when you in downtime. Good question though.
And I'm not gonna take any extra like stress or whatever. So I got 4.
Cool. I believe that's 2 ticks of the clock. Yep. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the acquire asset. So you know you're working on a long-term project here. On a 4, yeah, it's 2 clocks of this. So yeah, so you're totally able to find this guy, right, or girl? I like the idea. It's a girl, if you don't mind.
Okay,
Let me run
sure.
with that.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're able to find this girl, and you say that it needs to be rushed, or like you need. This is sort of like a rushed thing.
Yeah.
I think the problem. Okay. So obviously she's overworked, and says that like, well, you know, we're going to take your claim, we're going to file it away, and we're going to get back to you when we have the time to proceed with this. Sorry, like we're having like a super big backlog right now, in terms of like paperwork and stuff. So that kind of stuff is going on. So you find the person, but they're kind of overworked right now. I know you said you want to get this done fast, but that's where we're at. Hey, okay.
I think I got everything working.
Yeah. Sorry for having to desperately try to finagle this.
Yeah, no, that was all my bad. I totally forgot we were playing early. I'm like, oh, it's okay that we're working a little bit late because we still have time before 4 Eastern when we're supposed to play Blades in the Dark. And then I get here and it's like, Paul, are you coming? It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. It's cool. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's jump over to Seer here. And oh god, hey dude, Paul, can you reduce the volume of your mic?
Yep.
It seems to be really, really, really loud.
Yeah, I may have messed with it too much. Is that better?
It's too quiet now.
Too quiet?
Probably
Try one more time.
yeah, like a little bit less than double that volume. You should be good.
Here we go.
That's perfect.
Alright.
Yeah, that's smooth and
So-
sultry. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, if I remember right, we're doing downtime, right?
Correct. You only have one downtime action, if I recall.
Yeah, I only get 1, and my stress is pretty high, so I think I need to de-stress by indulging in my vice.
Cool.
Um,
So, remind us again what's Seer's vice, and remember we're in the Imperial City, and/or on the train, and/or going in Duskvol back now. So when does this take
Yeah.
place? What does it look like? Kind of stuff before you go ahead and roll, just so we have
So-
an idea.
It may be a small issue because my vice is super, as in I take blood needle, which is a drug, injected right into my veins.
Did you bring some with you?
Like maybe I don't know. Actually,
So
like I
I'm
want to make it
ceding
easy
I'm
on
ceding
myself
control to
and say
you.
that
Yeah.
I'm not totally addicted. Uh, because that will probably come back to bite me in the butt. But also, like my normal purveyor is Brill, who's back in Duskfall.
So, yeah, that doesn't mean just because that's your normal purveyor doesn't mean that's the only purveyor, right?
Yeah. So I think I may be just looking for someone else in a
Yeah. So,
strange city.
yeah, well, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with Kelsa here. I didn't have to do it with Vale because Vale grew up in the Imperial City.
Yeah.
So fictionally, you don't know somebody here, but one of the rules for downtime is that it happens whether or not you know it or not. So I'm not going to make you do another roll here. It's going to happen. When you want to indulge your vice, you're going to indulge your vice. Like there's no like, but there might be some baggage attached to it, and I'm going to represent that by a fortune roll. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
So I'm going to do the same amount of fortune here, 3d6. Okay, you got a 4. Here's boy. If you're looking for a buyer, you find one. He's good.
Great.
He comes recommended, but it's pricey here.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Cause I'm pretty sure I don't have any coin on me.
Yeah.
We left everything stashed in our lair. But let me make sure. Yeah, no, I don't have any.
So, well, I mean, this isn't going to prevent you. So roll your dice
Alright.
and see how good you're indulged.
Yeah, the vice roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this roll here help guide where this is fictionally gonna go.
So lowest attribute. So I have 0, so 2d6 and drop the highest, right?
Yeah.
Two.
Okay. So when you indulge your vice, you recover 2 stress, right?
Yeah.
Hey, also, Paul, occasionally when you breathe, it gets picked up by the microphone. So stop breathing. It's the easiest way to solve it. No, just giving you a heads up.
Yeah, just don't breathe. It's fine. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I'll try to put it away from my...
Yeah, no problem. I know you just got here, so like we couldn't exactly do like an audio check, right? But anyways,
I'm messing everything up today.
yeah. So I mean, you recover 2 stress. We love you. We love you. Don't worry about it. You recover 2 stress. Yeah, I think it's like it's not as good as you can get in Doskvol. It's pricier. Maybe you didn't want to afford the stuff that would give you better stress reduction or whatever, right? So you buy like the cheaper shit. Yeah, and it's like not as good. It's enough to keep your. It's not an addiction. I can quit anytime I want at a certain threshold, right? At an operating level, but it's also just not as good as you think. So I want to know, where do you get it? Who's your supplier in the Imperial City? Like, where do you go to get it?
So maybe
like you get it, right? Like this already happened.
Yeah.
You get it. I'm just curious, right? Like I'm a story gamer.
I think
I want to know this stuff.
Just talk to, because we arrived on a boat and we had like a bunch of gangers there too. And it's like totally just hung out with them, and like they surely know where to indulge in their vice because they're out on a boat for forever.
So what you're saying is you're partying with Lysander's former crew.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. That's interesting.
Is
Okay.
that bad?
No, not at all. No, that's totally happens. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. So you recovered your vice.
Yep. And that being my only downtime action, it's gonna be it. But I don't get more stress for not indulging in my vice because I do have a trauma.
Yeah, cool.
That would have been bad.
Yep. Did we? So, Asteyni reminds me, we didn't spend our leftover crew experience yet to grab people. I believe you had talk earlier this week, Paul, about grabbing Lysander's goons to work for us. So
Yeah.
what could possibly happen here is that maybe this sort of gets incorporated in with your vice indulgence, right? Like maybe
Sure.
maybe you kind of help position you gaining Lysander's goons. And so instead of me explaining what this looks like and what you actually grab for your crew, I'm gonna let one of you guys do it.
So, my idea when I kind of came up with it and reading rules and stuff, like when you get a crew level up, you can get um, can get a special ability or crew upgrades, and you can spend 2 to get a cohort, and a cohort can be a gang. So I figure we can get like a gang of thugs, which is probably not like all the thugs, but we can lacking leadership, we can convince a bunch of them to be like, hey, but what if we have a functioning gang?
Roll with us. Yeah.
And you can roll with us, and you know, we'll have to like get a little bit into your turf, but like maybe if we take the theater and you guys can keep that, you know, whoever doesn't want is like, you guys keep all that slum stuff that just happened to be also on the boat. But if you remember, Vale was totally hiding under that staircase. Everyone saw her.
It wasn't me, obviously. Like, I am heartbroken and sad. You can't see me crying because I wear a mask, but, you know.
Yeah.
She's crying on the inside. But that was kind of my reasoning and thinking behind.
Yeah, no, I like that one. I like that.
And also the part of that is offering to the rest of the gang, and he had like a second in command. I don't think I wrote down his name. I probably didn't.
Yeah.
No, Teddy's boys.
Hmm?
Teddy had like his main goon that he brought with him, but
Oh, that got a name, but we didn't write it down.
I don't think either. I just didn't pay attention and didn't write it down, or we didn't get his name. But like maybe he can take over like the slum part. He can take over the goons that want to stay with him. But we could take over that, and like we kind of negotiate what is happening to their Teddy's thugs. I don't even know their crew name. The Crowfoot Pimps. Whatever.
The 10-penny court.
10-penny court. All right.
Yeah. So you're gonna get you get their gang, right? You get their goons.
Yeah, like not all of their gang, but we get.
Oh
a
yeah,
bunch
no.
of them.
Yeah,
Right.
but you get a significant portion of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've
Cool.
added them to the sheet. We need to know quality and health on them, I think.
Well, they're tier 1, so I don't think their quality will be that great.
The quality starts out as 1 by default. However, the way there's crew upgrades on the Hawker sheet that actually allow us to take elite rooks or elite thugs at +1 quality, if for only 1 box instead of 2 that you would need to buy it at a cohort normally. And we'd been discussing this, and we didn't get very deep into it before, does that mean that we can buy them with 1 crew upgrade and they're tier 2, or that we can buy them for 2 and then later upgrade them to quality 2 for only 1 box instead of 2?
You still have to buy them for 2, but upgrading them costs 1.
Okay. So, yeah, they'd be thugs. They'd be quality 1. That's what they default as. And then we have to pick some traits for them. Where Where's the page?
You know, guys, I never realized. I don't know who wrote that motto in there for our group, but that's fucking awesome.
We have a motto now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a motto.
We have strong tea and stronger ladies.
Oh, right. Yes. I remember that now. You wrote that, Asteyni, didn't you?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Paul.
Well,
Could have been.
Awesome.
It sounds like something I would say.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
it's
Yeah.
perfect. I love it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so we got ourselves a gang now, fellas.
So on page 48 of the PDF, to create we need to choose their type, which I think we're going for thugs. And they start, and then we have to choose 1 or 2 edges and 1 or 2 flaws.
Yeah. So here's a quick little recap of what the edges are. I don't know where you put this in the crew character sheet. One of you guys is responsible for doing that. I can't help you. I don't know.
I'll
So
take care of it.
these are the edges. So we can choose 1 or 2 edges and then 1 or 2 flaws. Oh, no, 1 or 2 edges and then the same number of flaws equal to edges. Fearsome. The cohorts are terrifying in aspect and reputation. Independent. They can be trusted to make good decisions in the absence of orders. Loyal. They can't be bribed or turned against you. Or tenacious. They won't be deterred from a task. Those are the edges that we can choose here. 1 or 2.
I think we at least need loyal.
You know, I am really not into loyal at all. But
I mean, we're taking them from somebody else, so I don't know if loyal would be appropriate.
Maybe they really respect us, though.
sure.
Maybe they believe our lies.
Yeah, and they want to get, like, they see that we're on our way up, and so they want to ride our coattails to success.
Okay, I mean, I could buy that.
I just feel like if we don't take loyal, that's going to be used against us.
That's fair.
Knowing
That's
Eric.
fair. That's really fair.
Yeah, the other
Spoilers,
part
any of them that you don't pick could be used against you.
I
Yeah.
know,
of that, the
but
other one is independent, right? Like
But there's also...
mechanically, I think independent would probably the best one.
I like both of those.
But for me, it was like, you know, they're gangers from the bad part of town. They're fearsome. Makes the most sense for me. Fiction.
Okay. Yep. Oh, you can increase its quality by 1 by spending 2 crew advances. Is how it works.
Normally, right, but on the Hawker's crew sheet specifically,
yeah,
we
we
have a
can-
thing that
That's
gives
right.
us a bonus.
Yeah.
But like, if we really want 2 of them, we can take 2. But then we'll have to take 2 flaws also.
I'm aware.
So as far as, let's think about flaws then real quick. I think probably wild. Like they are drunken, debauched.
They like
and
to
loud.
party.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
like to
that
party. And I
seems
think that
right.
makes sense, especially doing Blood Needle with Seer.
Yeah. Okay,
like,
so they
fits into
party.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they totally party. And what were the edges that we chose?
We haven't chosen them yet.
Okay.
We're
looking at
still
both.
deciding.
Okay.
I mean, would we be willing to take a second flaw if we did want to have 2?
What are our options?
Here are the
Like, we can
flaws.
take Savage.
So this is page 48, Asteyni. Here are the flaws. Principled. The cohort has an ethic or values it won't betray. A man's gots to have a code. Savage. The cohort is excessively violent and cruel. Unreliable. The cohort isn't always available due to other obligations. Or wild. The cohort is drunken, debauched, and loudmouthed. You can add edges and remove flaws by spending a single crew advance.
I would be okay with 2 flaws for 2 edges.
All right.
And I would be okay to make them principled as long as, like, can we pick how they're principled, or is that something you pick?
I want to hear. Let me know what their principle is that you think it is. Like, what do you think their principle is? And then I'll let you know whether or not that sounds good.
I think, what would be good for someone who's thugs for a theater? Always put on a good show? Don't do it if it's not fun.
No, maybe, but I'm thinking more like they don't do kids, right? Like they don't do anything against children.
I mean, I would be okay with that.
Like something like that, right? Or they don't. The obvious code that I would think is that they don't strike at anybody that's not part of the game. What they mean by that is like isn't a criminal. That seems pretty obvious. That seems like pretty right for me. Is that, they let people who live their lives, they do their own thing, but because they're basically they're kind of vigilantes in and of themselves. Like they're a gang from this apartment complex, so like they let the people who live in the apartment complex kind of do their thing. They deal with other gangs. I don't know. That sounds good. Like they won't attack like a shop for no reason, right? They only attack other gangs, right?
I would be okay with that.
I'll take that. I don't think that's all that much of a flaw, but hey, if you're all right with it.
I mean, it could.
No,
be
they won't they won't go after like. Okay, here's another way of putting it. They won't go after anybody who's like high society like that, unless it's like they're doing something defensive.
No, but like that's fine because they're thugs anyway. Like
Yeah.
I take that. Yeah, easy money.
I don't know. You guys, I feel like I put myself in a trap here that this is too easy.
I don't think so, because it means that if we're ever doing anything where it's not against another gang, we can't rely on these guys to help us out.
Yeah.
And that's most of what we do so far, has been stuff that's not with other gangs. We've been tangling with high society. We've been tangling with like the fucking Imperial Legion, whatever. I don't know.
The actor, on that boat and shit. Like, they probably wouldn't have helped you. I don't know. They might have helped you on the boat.
Technically, government is totally also a gang.
Yeah. And so are the police. Yeah.
So
okay.
We could take now 2 edges then, since we've picked 2 flaws.
Yeah. So let's take loyal and.
So they're principled and wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their principles, but they like to party.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a contradiction.
So
but
I
they don't party with squares. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's take loyal, and then I think either independent or having the kind of brutal reputation. What do you guys think?
I kind of like the fearsome reputation, actually.
Then let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and we have like quarters, right?
I mean, I just realized this kind of, but like, Scum and Villainy does spaceships and stuff for Blades. But if you weren't using that, if you wanted to play like pirates, you could totally just pick a crew type. Your ship is a cohort. Everything's just as a cohort. It's a cohort.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, that's how it is for smugglers. Their whatever vehicle they use for smuggling is considered a cohort.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you just give it a couple traits that maybe aren't like the edges and flaws listed like this. Maybe they're a little bit more mechanically based instead of like human flaw based. And yeah. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got distracted thinking game design stuff. Anyways, let's keep going.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think we're done with that then. We've got our 10 petty court goons.
If you want, we can choose some names of guys in there, but if not, we can leave it open and generate them as needed.
Oh, yeah, we can generate them as we need it. Okay, well, it's 1:14, so it's about time for our first break. We're going to a break, and then we'll come back and finish for our second part of our downtime action. Okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that was just me being an idiot. We're good.